All right, boys, we are going to try this one again. I know some of you just saw that I uploaded a video without audio, which was my mistake. I'm sorry. I went to check my settings and I was like, oh, was my mic muted? Like, what the heck? My mic's never muted. Why would it be muted? My mic wasn't plugged in was the problem. I'm at home, recording from the laptop, new setup. When I'm at home, like in my office, I never unplug my mic, but I've been carrying around my laptop and stuff, so sometimes I unplug the mic to go, downstairs or go to the living room or whatever. So that's why there was no audio in the last one. So we're going to try this again. Kind of annoying, sucks, but we'll try this again. Wanted to start out by saying Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all and your families are, happy, healthy. Getting to spend some time together, whatever holiday you got going on. Hopefully you get some time off, all that stuff. Today we're talking about some very, very big Cloud9 news. And dude, the last video was doing good. The last video had like 50 views in 5 minutes. That's so good for one of my videos. And now I'm scared that this one's not going to do well, but we're going to try it again. So big Cloud9 news. Very surprising. It's going to be a good one. Drop a like if you enjoy it. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. I promise there will be videos with audio coming soon. Help us hit 10,000 by the end of the year. We're like 23 subs away. Maybe we'll hit it today. Could we get a Christmas miracle? But for sure by the end of the year, it would be absolutely awesome. With that being said, let's get into this. We're talking about news regarding C9 Sven today, as some of you guys already saw. Even though you couldn't hear the video, it still had Sven on the thumbnail and stuff, and you see Sven in the thumbnail here today. And obviously, he's had a couple interesting years with Cloud9. He came over from TSM where he had some success. They made it to, a finals, and they probably should have won, but he ends up throwing it, so maybe, it's his fault, whatever. But he had some okay years with TSM. Obviously, they never make it to Worlds. Overall, it's seen as a disappointment. He has some good years with Cloud9. They win a couple of titles. They go to MSI. They go to Worlds. They even get out of groups. They get 0-3, but they get out of groups. And overall, Sven's been pretty good in North America. I would say every year he's been, a top 3 or 4 AD carry. He's very, very consistent. But I understand why Cloud9 is moving on from him as well, because from his perspective and Cloud9's perspective, they're not here to just win domestic titles. They're not here to just make it to MSI and not make the top 4. They're not here to get 3-0'd in the quarterfinals at Worlds. They're trying to take that step up. They're trying to make it to MSI finals, win MSI, make it to semifinals at Worlds, keep progressing. And Sven and Cloud9 are both guys who, they're both a guy in an organization who have accomplished a lot already. Sven has so many titles already. He didn't need another LCS title. He didn't need to make it to MSI again. He didn't need to make it to Worlds again. He's made it to semifinals at Worlds. Cloud9's going to semifinals at Worlds. These guys are trying to make that step up, that progression up. And Sven, even though he's been good, consistent, a good LCS AD carry, he hasn't been consistently great or consistently great enough on the international stage. So I understand why, they brought in Berserker. It seemed like they were moving on from him. And it didn't seem like we knew what exactly was going on with Sven's future. But today we found out a little bit of that. We had this tweet from Tim. This was actually yesterday, so we didn't find out today. We found out yesterday, but I'm talking about it today. I heard Sven's contract with C9 was extended through 2024. Now, I don't know where he heard this. I would love to get in on this grapevine or whatever, where people are just, talking about contract extensions, all this stuff. Maybe somebody can hook me up there. But he heard Sven was going to be extended through 2024. Very, very interesting. Had to check the global contract database for myself and confirmed it. We'll take a look at that in a second in this video. But he did say I would be fascinated to hear how that conversation played out. What are the incentives for Sven and for C9 to sign a new 3-year deal? Very interesting. And I agree, this is very, very interesting. And to some people, it's, a little shocking, a little surprising. They just brought in Berserker. Why are they signing Sven to a long-term extension? When we take a look at the global contract database, we'll see here we have Berserker. He's under contract till 2024, so he has a 3-year deal. We have Sven here up until 2024, a new 3-year deal. They still have King on the roster as well, signed until 2023. Now, I don't know exactly what Cloud9's amateur team situation looks like. I can't imagine any of these guys are going to be playing on amateur. I don't even know if C9 has an amateur team, to be honest. I don't really follow the amateur scene too closely and stuff. But, some organizations have 380 carries, but there's not really an organization that's carrying 3 LCS level 80 carries and paying 3 LCS level 80 carries, because that's the thing. None of these players are cheap. Berserker was a highly sought-after Korean prospect who for sure got interest from other teams and starting offers from other teams. They had to pay him a significant amount of money to get him to come over to North America to come play for Cloud9 to be their AD carry. King, we know, is one of the most highly sought-after academy players. Maybe his stock went a little bit down after last year, but I don't really think it should have. I still think he's an absolute monster. I think it would be a top 10 AD carry in the LCS. He deserves to be starting in the LCS to some capacity. And maybe C9 still sees some way to integrate him into the team in the future or sell him off or whatever. And then obviously you have Sven. Even though they're deciding to move on from him, that doesn't make Sven any worse. He was still a top 3 or 4 AD carry in the LCS last year. He still could, provide value to a lot of LCS, Academy, LEC, ERL teams out there. So yeah, I mean, this isn't cheap. So why is Cloud9 doing this? And why did Sven do this? Why is he locking himself up in contract prison, for the next 3 years if Cloud9's not even going to be playing him? So obviously, where my mind goes first is there's a chance that Berserker doesn't work out for whatever reason. Not just Berserker comes in and sucks, which is possible. With any young player, there's a risk. And just because he would come over here and suck, that doesn't mean that he's necessarily bad. It could be coming to North America was too big of an adjustment for him. Maybe he hates North American solo queue. Maybe he hates the United States. Maybe he hates Los Angeles. Maybe he can't find synergy with either of the two supports Cloud9 brings in. Maybe, all different kinds of reasons. Maybe he just doesn't fit in with the Cloud9 playstyle or the team or whatever. We brought in a really, really great player in Perkz last year who kind of looked like he took a step back in North America with Cloud9 for whatever reason. Does that mean Perkz sucks? No, it just means that he had different thoughts about the game. He had a different style. He couldn't exactly fit into the Cloud9 way, or Cloud9 couldn't fit into his way or whatever, and they break it off after a year. And that could absolutely happen with Berserker for way more reasons than it could happen with Perkz. Berserker, as good or talented or as much potential as he has, is a bigger risk than somebody like Perkz for sure. So maybe Berserker doesn't work out after 1 split, 2 splits, 3 splits, 4 splits, whatever. You have Sven there ready to go to sub back in. Because again, Sven was not bad. Sven can get you to MSI. Sven can get you to Worlds. He's a good AD carry. They're just looking to make an improvement. They're looking to take a step up. And maybe King is the guy. Maybe they want to slot King in some, whatever. I also think having Sven on your team is great. Not only as a safety net for needing to come into the LCS, but having him there as a guy to scrim against, a guy to practice against. If they want to do bot lane 2v2s or even just overall scrims, instead of having Academy players or amateur players or having to, show your strats against other teams or having to scrim against like Dignitas or whatever, you have Sven there in your house to play against, like Team McDonald's, there's so many of these great players out there. Utilize them, practice with them, play against them, have them level you up. So I think in a lot of ways it does make sense for C9, even though, it might have a price tag behind it. I think having Sven in the team is great for a lot of ways. He's a grinder. It seems like he's like Cloud9 a lot. He's a hard worker. He's going to be there ready to go if C9 ever needs him, or if they don't. Hopefully it's not too expensive of a contract for C9 because, he shouldn't be getting paid as a starter, so they have kind of a cheaper safety valve. On the Sven side, maybe you want to stay in North America. Maybe you want to stay in Los Angeles. Maybe you really like Cloud9. Maybe you didn't get any other offers. Maybe you didn't get any other great offers. Maybe you don't want to go back to Europe. Maybe you don't want to play for a bad LCS team. Maybe you don't want to play in Academy. So now you get to play for C9. Maybe you get to scrim some. Maybe they just pay you to play solo queue. Maybe there's a potential chance of you getting an LCS spot sometime by the end of the year because they have said, hey guys, everyone's going to get a chance in practice and scrims, whatever, and we're going to play our best lineup. So if you're Sven and you believe that you are the best AD carry of the 3, maybe you can work your way back into the starting lineup. He already got benched for King once and worked his way back. So maybe he really does believe in himself. Or maybe either way, he's like, hey, they're offering to pay me a salary the next 3 years to, get to piss chill and not chill, but, still be working hard and grinding and everything, but with a lot less stress, a lot less expectations. That sounds better than retiring. That sounds better than playing for Astralis or Dignitas or, going to Academy or ERLs or whatever. So I don't know exactly what Sven or Cloud9 has in mind. Unless we hear it from them, no one will ever really know. It's just a lot of speculation stuff at the end of the day. But I do think this actually makes a lot of sense for both C9 and Sven. And I think it's a good move for both of them, so I'm really happy to see this. Sven's a player that I like and root for. Again, I don't blame C9 for moving on from him, but I do think it's cool, that they are still setting him up in a good position. He's going to be getting some money, and I think there's a lot of different, creative ways that he can provide value to the team still and, earn that check. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me, drop a like if you did enjoy it. Hopefully, there's audio this time. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this Sven and C9 deal. You think it's a good move or bad move by either of them? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully, I catch you guys in the next one. Merry Christmas and peace.